Good morning, beloveds. It is Sunday. I allow myself to sleep in a little bit on Sunday, so I have not been outside. I do not know what the weather is like, although my phone said it was 63 degrees outside, which is awesome. And it looks like it's going to be cloudy, which is awesome as well. I like cloudy, I like sunny, I like rainy. I like all weather. Well, maybe not all weather. I don't enjoy monsoons. I can't say that I actually enjoy hurricanes, and yes, I know where I live. Okay, it is November 22nd. Our title is Joy, which I think is very appropriate for a Sunday. It'll be a Monday next year, I think, because I think this was the leap year. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. All right, so on this one, he's using different lines from different, there's two different books in the Bible, and then in the Psalms, he's using two different. So, I'll figure this out. Okay, so November 22nd, joy. Sorrow is turned into joy before him. That is from Job 41:22. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, Psalm 4:7. Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness. And that is Psalm 30:11. So if we read them all together, sorrow has turned into joy before him. Thou hast put gladness in my heart. Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness. All right. We cannot conceive of the spirit as being sad or depressed. There is ever a song at the center of everything. This song is reflected in all nature, turning mourning into dancing. To put off sackcloth means the turning of the personality to a complete reliance upon the divine. To be girded with gladness means to cover ourselves with the threefold nature of good. This is a symbol of divine protection. Turning the mind to God and recognizing the omnipresence of love causes us to rejoice, as we recognize that in pure spirit we live, move, and have our being. Today, I deliberately turn from everything that depresses and sing a song of praise, of gratitude, and of joy. I am going forth to meet joy, singing the song of triumph, of spirit, over all apparent negation. And from the Science of Mind text, we are to rejoice evermore. There is no sadness in spirit. It is happy and free, for it knows neither depression nor confusion, and we belong to it, are in it, and of it. And that is from the textbook 496. Okay, so we're going to start this off really quickly by talking for a brief minute about mental illness. It is something that I struggle with. I have been diagnosed with clinical anxiety and clinical depression, along with seasonal affect disorder, which is one of the reasons why I started running early in the morning, because it gave me that boost of sunshine first thing in the morning to help shift my hormones. So we are not going to spiritually bypass mental illness with this teaching. I've tried. I had a classmate who I think she was a senior when I was a freshman. And she actually she's like, I'm a science of mind minister. I'm going to be a science of mind minister. I can do this. I don't need the medication anymore. And her quality of life went down. So she went back on the medication. And then one of my teachers, when I did a talk, and I did a talk on, I think, mental illness, and one of the things that she reminded me after the fact, is that there are people who do have mental illnesses, anxiety, depression. In her case, the person that she loved had bipolar disorder, and the medication is absolutely necessary. So I'm going to remind you right now that one of the things that Ernest says is that treatments, pills from the doctor are, and there is a quote, and I'll find it for you if you want me to. There is a quote where he says, because there's two. One, if you need a pill, take a pill and treat until you don't need the pill anymore. But he also says that all treatments are from God. So if joy is hard for you because you have a chemical imbalance, then please take the treatments that you need to take. I spent 2 years on an antidepressant. I would not be here if I had not taken the pills. And fortunately, I can't even say that. I can't, because that again is a spiritual bypass. What I needed was to have my hormones reset. And that's what the pills did for me. Okay, here's how I can say fortunately. I am a poster child for side effects. And so when I take prescription medications, I almost always have a side effect that is less than. So while the prescription antidepressant worked very well to help me reset my hormones, it had an undesirable side effect of making me sleepy all the time. But so once my hormones were reset and I changed my diet and changed my sleeping patterns and started exercising, I was able to manage my hormones so that I didn't need that pill anymore. So I was able to get away from that side effect. But there are people who, by virtue of the fact that their chemistry is off, cannot. If they want to feel good and feel joy, then they need to take that pill. Because that is one of the things that it did for me, is at that point I had no joy. I had nothing. And it allowed me to think clearly so that I could find my joy again. So, and I want to bring this home because we're coming into the holidays, and I want to make it clear that if your brain is, and I'm going to use the word broken, because if you break your hand or if you break your leg, there's no shame in that. You know, we put a cast on it and you take the pills that you need to take until it heals, and then you move on. But there's this huge stigma on if your brain is broken. It is an organ just like everything else in the body. And when it doesn't work, then we need to do what we need to do to help it work. So we are coming into the holidays, and a whole lot of people struggle during the holidays. And while the holidays aren't my issue, the shorter days can be. So I know what I need to do, and I do it. So I want you to think about joy and remember that the remedies that come from the doctor are coming through God as well. So do not take on that stigma of, if you need a pill to find the joy, a prescription from the doctor. Now, I'm not advocating illegal substances to find joy, because controlled, do what you need to do. And then follow it up with the lifestyle changes that will make the pill from the doctor work better. And that is my soapbox. And I'm not getting off that soapbox. I am an advocate for that. Because while I was in school, that was another thing we had. It wasn't here. It was where I went to school up in Colorado. They had a practitioner who tried again to get off the medication, and she didn't make it. And so that's one of the things. It's like, if you're to that point, call someone. And if there's a pill that works for you, please, please, please take it. Please take it. All right, so now let's go back and talk about joy. And remember that in that spectrum of joy, remedies from the doctor are definitely in it. They are from God and of God, just as are the nature if your organ is not working. So, not getting off that soapbox. I frequently say I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm not getting off that soapbox. It is really about the quality of life. And if you do not have joy, then what can we do? We can treat, and we can do all of that, and we can pray, and then sometimes we need to go to the doctor. All right. So, in that quote, Job's sorrow is turned into joy before him. That was one of the things that going on the antidepressant helped me with. It helped me to think more clearly, and when I could think more clearly, then my sorrow turned into joy. So, thou hast put gladness in my heart, thou hast turned me from my mourning into dancing, thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness. Okay, so there are so many pathways to find that, and the doctor is one of them. Because remember that we are the hands and feet and the hearts and the ears of God, and so your doctor is divinely guided by spirit as well. All right? The holidays. Yes. Okay. We cannot conceive of spirit as being sad or depressed. There is ever a song at the center of everything. And the song he's talking about is the song of creation. The song of life. And if you are not hearing that song, take the steps you need to hear that song. Because really, honestly, spirit isn't sad or depressed. Spirit is constantly creating. And if you've lost that creative song, do what you need to do to find it again. Okay? This song is reflected in all nature, turning mourning into dancing. To put off sackcloth means the turning of the personality to the complete reliance upon the divine. Okay, and that's the line that set me off. This song is reflected in all nature. To put off sackcloth means the turning of the personality to complete reliance on the divine. That includes prescriptions if you need them. All right? And I'm not talking about self-medicating, because that can lead into whole other issues. I'm talking about going and having an honest conversation with your doctor and your practitioner and your minister, and making and taking the steps and the things that you need to do, because all of it is divine. All right? So if prayer is enough, great. And if prayer is not enough, then prayer can lead you to the other steps that you need, including the doctor. Yeah. I'm a big believer in this. I wouldn't be here without the doctor. To be girded with gladness means to cover ourselves with the threefold nature of good. And he doesn't explain what the threefold nature of good is, so that's something to think about. All right. This is a symbol of divine protection. Turning the mind to God and recognizing the omnipresence of love causes us to rejoice. And that's true. When we can recognize the love, and that's love with the capital L, then life is so much better. And if we are struggling to recognize that love with a capital L, then what steps do we need to take to recognize it? And that includes prayer and meditation and reading amazing books and watching amazing movies and being with the people that we can that love us in whatever way that looks like. The people that are in your household. And then also connecting like this through electronic media, Zoom. Because I know right now being with people is hard. That's one of the reasons why we do that live stream on Wednesday. And we leave it up so that you can come back to it if you want to. That's why we put it up on YouTube. So if there was a particular one that really spoke to you, you can go back and find it. So that's, so that we can help you find that love. And then if your brain is still clouded, then we will advocate to you to go to the doctor and support your body in doing its job. Okay. Because as we recognize that in pure spirit we live, move, and have our being, doctors are included in that. Okay. Today, I deliberately turn from everything that depresses and sing a song of praise, of gratitude, and of joy. So today, I deliberately turn from everything that oppresses and sing a song of praise, of gratitude, and of joy. And again, if you can do that, and a great way to do that is to step out into nature and to be surrounded by trees and like running water and things like that. And if that doesn't do it, go visit your doctor. If there isn't, if you can't find that song of joy and of gratitude in the things that you love to do, go visit your doctor. Please, because you are a beloved child of spirit and we really want you to be around. I am going forth to meet joy, singing the song of triumph of spirit over all apparent negation. So, I am going forth to meet joy, and I will use whatever means I need to go forth and meet that joy. And that means eating right, and that means exercising, and that means getting enough sleep, and that means having regular checkups with my doctor, and all of that. And yeah, because if you cannot think clearly, then it is hard to see around the noise and the mess and the nonsense of the mortal world and to find that song of creation at the center of your being. And I'm not saying that the drugs will give you that, the prescriptions will give you. I'm not saying that. But what they will do is they will help to balance your hormones so that your body isn't getting in the way. And when your hormones are working right, your body is working right, then you can sing your song of creation. And you can find that joy. And that's why I'm a big advocate of exercise, and I'm a big advocate of eating right, and a big advocate of getting enough sleep. Because this is our temple, and we want to take care of it. And when it is broken, we want to use all methods to put it back right, so that we can sing that song of joy. And we can sing that song of joy to each other. Because if you've forgotten your song of joy, I want to sing your song of joy to you. And that's why I do this. So, from the Science of Mind text, we are to rejoice evermore. There is no sadness in spirit. It is happy and free, for it knows neither depression nor confusion, and we belong to it, are in and of it. And that is from 496. And if you read somewhere around in there, then he will tell you that if you're struggling, then take the steps, all of the steps, until you find your song of joy. And all of those steps include all of those things. And they include reading and writing and talking and being with people and listening and being in nature and listening to the sound of running water and the wind in the trees and the song of the birds and the purr of the cat and the, playing fetch with the dog. All of those are joy and love. And if you've got one organ getting in your way, what steps can you take? Because none of them are outside of God. None of them are outside of God. If the exercise and the reading and all of that is not working, go visit your doctor. Because we want you to be happy. Spirit wants you to be happy. That is why Spirit supports doctors. All right? I'm definitely in a soapbox today. So, yes, joy. We're coming into the holidays. I want you to enjoy the holidays. And I know that this year looks like it might be tough to enjoy the holidays. But we'll find a way. We will absolutely find a way. All right, beloveds. Let me remind you that you are a beloved child of Spirit in whom Spirit is well pleased. That you are an individualized center of that divine personality, that you are having experiences that Spirit couldn't have without you. You are definitely important to Spirit, and Spirit wants you to be happy. All right? So open your windows. Allow fresh air in. Do something to engage your mind and your body. Do something loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. And if that means calling the doctor, then call the doctor. Because loving, kind, and compassionate is taking care of yourself in the ways that are necessary. All right? So I am going to move on and get breakfast because we have a live stream for you at 11 a.m. Reverend Jesse is taking on Thanksgiving. So open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you you live in heaven now. And that what you need is at hand. And I will remind you that Reverend David will be on around with you around 5 p.m. I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. But before that, we are moving into the further into the I Am series with Thanksgiving today. All right, so I will be back with you along with practitioner Danielle and Reverend Jesse and whatever the music crew is, which is always Jeffrey, and then a surprise. So join us at 11 a.m. right here on Facebook Live for that. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day.